did you start this adventure 10 years ago getting into grill cleaning? What were you doing before?
I worked for the fire department. I was a firefighter paramedic on a ladder truck, and I retired in 21 with 31 years of service. I was only 51 when I retired, and I knew I needed something more to do.
How did you find your first employee?
And I think I said looking for a cleaning technician, cleaning barbecue grills. And this guy happened to work for his dad, who was a barbecue grill manufacturer. So his dad manufactured a grill back in the 80s, and they built outdoor kitchens up in Georgia, and he worked for him. So he knew grills. He never cleaned a barbecue grill, but he was always in the barbecue business. He's an old guy. He's like 50. He's maybe not as fast as some of my younger guys, but he never calls in sick, and he just works. He gets 1 week off every year, and he takes the whole week off at one time, and then he never calls in sick.
All right, welcome to another edition of the Superpro Podcast, where we highlight top pros in home service industry, diving into their challenges, success stories, and innovations. I'm your host, Roland Ligtenberg, co-founder of Housecall Pro. Today, I'm super excited to welcome Chris Cea, owner of Treasure Coast Grill Cleaning. They cover a big part of the east side of Florida, from Vero Beach down to West Palm Beach. Chris has grown his service business over the last 10 years, leveraging his background in firefighting and paramedic services to manage his operations. We've definitely got some questions around there. He's got 5 employees with 3 cleaning vans and 1 repair van on the road with a goal of $850K in 2024. His company specializes in exterior cleaning, including the grill cleaning, with a focus on delivering exceptional service through modern technology. Chris, welcome to the show. Yeah, excited. So tell me a little bit, how did you start this adventure 10 years ago getting into grill cleaning? What were you doing before?
I worked for the fire department. I was a firefighter paramedic on a ladder truck, and I retired in 21 with 31 years of service. But back in 2013, I knew my retirement was coming up. I was making plans to go into what our retirement system calls the drop, and I said I was only 51 when I retired, and I knew I needed something more to do. So I was working at this golf course community, doing another job, doing some other service work, and I found this guy who was cleaning barbecue grills. And I asked him what he was doing, and nobody did it around our area at all. So I kind of copied what he did. I did a lot of research. About a year later, I started my own company. He didn't service my area, and there was nobody in my area who did that kind of work. So I felt there was a need for that. So I created my own grill cleaning company, and I did it by myself for the first 5 years. It got really hard. I didn't want to hire anybody. I didn't think I was there yet. I had that mentality of, you won't survive, you have to lay him off. And it's funny because I watched all of Josh's videos on, window cleaning and all this stuff. And he kept drilling into your head. You got to hire, you got to get out of the field. And finally in 2019, I hired my first guy, and he's still with me. And it's been a great, he's been with me 5 years now. But year 2000, so I started with Housecall Pro in 2017. Year 2016, the phone was just never stopped ringing. I used my personal phone, my cell phone, as my business line, and I advertised everything. All my vans have my phone number on it, and the phone just never stopped ringing. So I just got very overwhelmed. I was spending half my day at the fire department answering phone calls and scheduling, booking people. And I did it all on a paper calendar. I was just that one guy. I was writing everything on the calendar. And as the day went on, I'd scratch them off. And finally, I said, I need more. That's when I joined Housecall Pro. And with Housecall Pro, then my company really just boomed, because now I'm scheduling people via the computer. I'm doing emails. I'm doing text messaging. And the business just popped. And the COVID hit. That's really what set my business off, because everybody was staying home. Everybody was cooking at home. Everybody was doing stuff. So I started just cleaning barbecue grills, and when COVID hit, I got into the repair business. And so I have a separate like repair van, and I have a guy who just does repairs. And then we were coming into a lot of grills that were bad, and I was like, well, I'm going to start replacing grills too. So I started a separate company, Treasure Coast Grill Center, for sales tax purposes. And now we sell barbecue grills through Treasure Coast Grill Center, and we do grill cleaning and repairs through Treasure Coast.
You built quite a nice empire there. So, and obviously in Florida, people are getting out and about, beautiful weather year round. So, and I can only imagine with COVID, everyone's really using those grills. And they're probably noticing they're pretty dirty too. And probably not wanting to clean them themselves.
Right.
How did you mentioned your first employee is still with you. How did you find your first employee? And because that big step, I feel like, is the hardest for a lot of entrepreneurs to make, even like you mentioned, even for yourself. Like, how did that come about?
I went on Indeed, and I said a thing, and I think I said looking for a cleaning technician, cleaning barbecue grills, and this guy happened to work for his dad, who was a barbecue grill manufacturer. So his dad manufactured a grill back in the 80s, and they built outdoor kitchens up in Georgia, and he worked for him. So he knew grills, he never cleaned a barbecue grill, but he was always in the barbecue business. So it kind of worked out. He knew, what we were talking about, and he lives like right around the corner from the shop, and it's just been a good thing. He's an old guy. He's like 50. He's maybe not as fast as some of my younger guys, but he never calls in sick, and he just works. He gets 1 week off every year, and he takes the whole week off at one time, and then he never calls in sick. So you can't replace people like that. We have a lot of young kids that call in sick once a month. They use all their PTO time, and then they go without pay.
Yeah.
So it's good to have employees like that show up.
It's interesting too that you just bring that up. It's just multi-generational employees. Noticing the difference both from like a work ethic perspective and probably a coachability and dependability. Clearly, issue. And
absolutely.
When you're out there looking for, you've got more than just this guy that's been there with you for 5 years. Are you still using Indeed as like the main kind of focus, or is it kind of becoming more word of mouth now, or a combination?
Yes, I still use Indeed when I'm looking for someone, but I start with my current employees and I tell them, hey, if you can find me somebody good, I'll give you a hiring bonus. And then, so I have my guys always looking for their friends or stuff like that. And that's really how the last couple of years, how I've hired. Although it's also a family business. My wife's my full-time secretary. She has her own office. And then my niece now is with us. She's helping in the office too. She just had a baby, so we allow her to bring her baby to work. We set up a little playpen area for the baby. And she answers phones for 4 hours a day for 3 days a week. So it gives her something to do. It takes the answering phones off my wife so she can do back-end office stuff. I have my oldest son. He works for me. He's been with me for 4 years. My youngest son, he works with me. He also works for the fire department. So on his days off, he'll work with me. We'll do installs.
So it's really a combination of like family business and plus some folks that you found in Indeed. It's like it's a combo.
It is. My other niece, her boyfriend, her boyfriend works for us. He's been with me almost 4 years. And then, so it's just, we have a friend of the family. Her son works for us. So we know everybody. I mean, I've had a couple guys come and go that I picked up off Indeed, but it's usually the people that are close to you that will be the most true to you.
That's really good advice. Wrong, and I think sometimes it's definitely hard to do business with family, but that trust factor, that dependability, like knowing where they come from and what they stand for, often help kind of overcome a lot of those other things that maybe are a little difficult during Thanksgiving dinner.
Right. Yeah, and I tell my guys, all my guys that work for me, they get 80 hours every 2 weeks, no matter what. Summertime, we're slow. We may only work till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll guarantee them 40 hours a week. Me not having work is not their problem. Their problem is getting the work done that I give them. And for that, they get paid 40 hours no matter what. So with that, I think a lot of people like that. They know they're getting their salary set for that week, and they know what they're going to get paid, and they can live their life better, not worrying about whether they're going to get paid.
I feel like that's a really great golden nugget there.
So,
Obviously as an entrepreneur, you, Chris, you're probably more used to the highs and lows, especially when you're doing things by yourself. You're never guaranteed work. And when you're by yourself, if you're not doing work, you're trying to book work. And when you're booking work, you're not doing work. And it's a cycle. And as an entrepreneur, you probably have the ability to stomach those highs and lows a lot more versus employees. Like you said, the strategy you have is like, look, you're going to get paid 80 hours every 2 weeks, no matter what, each payroll cycle. That is very good for a lot of folks that are just looking for the stability. And then you as the business owner, you got to be out there hustling to make sure those calendars are filled, because otherwise, you're paying for it that time.
Right, and it's very stressful in the summertime. We're really slow August and beginning of September. It's like our slowest time of the year. So it's funny because I was with Conquer back in 2020 and 2021, and I had one coach. She was awesome. And it really grew my business. That definitely helped my business during COVID too, because it taught me different ways to market and advertise and how to keep people and do all that. It definitely helps my business. I never say anything negative about Conquer. But I had my thought was the people that join Conquer are all in the Northeast. Or in California, and our seasons are different in Florida. Our slow season is during the summertime, and our busy season is during the wintertime, because all the snowbirds come back to Florida. Right, it flips. So right now we're just up to our eyeballs in work, and it's all home management companies prepping their houses for the people that are coming down. We're up in Indiana and Illinois, New York. All those people are prepping for, the snow season come in, and they're slowing down their businesses. So it was funny with Conquer is they're telling you got to do this, you got to do that. I'm like, you don't understand. We're slow right now. And there's nothing, I'm not going to get the work. There's only 100 people looking for grill cleaning on Google right now. So there's just not the people. So I had to adapt to my seasons differently than what everybody else deals with in the United States. That's one. Two, in the summertime, we stress. We're slow. We're looking for work. We do other stuff. Not pressure cleaning. I totally got out of pressure cleaning windows. But we'll do, like a lot of our clients are very wealthy. They live on the ocean. So they have teak furniture. So we'll take their teak furniture back to the shop, we'll sand it all down, we'll re-teak it, and we'll bring it back to their house. So there's other stuff that we can do besides what we normally do. We'll do some boat stuff. We'll do work on boats, on yachts and stuff like that. Stainless steel, we clean a lot of stainless steel. So we'll go into businesses and we'll take scratches out of stainless steel. So there's always filler work, but it is stressful every summer on making sure that my bank account has this
buffer.
Reserve, so I can clean my
a little buffer. Well, I like what you're saying too, where and if you're doing grill cleaning, you're dealing with a lot of steel and metals, and where is their metal? And then obviously, if you're near the ocean, metal needs a lot of attention. And so kind of pooling those things together, you can kind of maintain sort of a domain expertise, in that, whether it's on a grill, a boat railing, I don't know, like a pool railing, like, those style things. And also furniture too at the same time. This is all within their outdoor entertaining area. So you kind of set up this great niche business there. What would you say from a marketing perspective drives you the most amount of business? Like, how are you thinking about that, and how are you getting the word out?
I only do SEO and Google. I use Mr. Pipeline. I don't know if you know John. His crew is great. And that's the only advertising I do. In the beginning, I had to do a lot of print magazines, these home magazines that come out, because nobody knew what grill cleaning was back when I started. They're like, people clean grills? I'm like, yes, people clean their barbecue grills. And I only do residential barbecue grills. I don't do anything commercial. So only barbecue grills in people's houses. And so we got out of print marketing. We went straight into Google for the last 4 years, and it's been great. But probably 75 to 85% of our business is repeat customers. And that's and I track all that on Housecall Pro. And we send, if you want to get into email now, the email marketing, after every job, they receive a thank you that says, if there's anything else we can do for you, please give us a call. 6 months. Hey, it's been 6 months since your last cleaning. You should schedule a cleaning. And then within a year, they get their last email that says, hey, it's been a year. You really should. And then we tell them the different things that could happen to their barbecue grill by not keeping up with the cleanings and repairs. And we get a lot of return business that way. We get a lot of people see our emails and they just reply back, say, oh yeah, it's been 6 months, go ahead and schedule me. And then we schedule for the maintenance plans, and we get them on we have like 12 people that we do monthly. We clean their grill on a monthly basis. We do 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and then they get discounts for all those jobs. And then if they want to just get on a yearly schedule, then we just schedule them for every year, and there's no discount for that. But so we have a lot. We probably have over 100 jobs that are set up on every 6 month
Yeah, I
basis.
mean, obviously, once you do a good job and people get addicted to grill cleaning, they're probably just going to keep booking you.
Right, and they don't want, especially in the summertime, the rat population grows, so you always get problems with the rats burrowing in your barbecue grill. They're trying to get out of the rain too. So, we have a lot of people that just want their grills to stay nice. And like I said, we have like 12 people that say, just come every month. I paid $8,000 for this barbecue grill, and I don't want it to go bad. So we're out there.
That makes
on a
sense,
monthly
and
basis.
especially if you're doing ones that are professionally installed and not just the ones that you buy at the local Ace Hardware. But these ones are high end,
right? All these grills are $5,000 and up. They're in a built-in outdoor kitchen. They have doors and drawers and refrigerators, and we clean the stainless. So we have a lot of high-end.
So tell me a little bit about, you're using email automations inside of Housecall Pro to drive this repeat business that kind of keeps coming, and your business is super cyclical. So that is like a perfect use case for that. What would you say is another underrated feature about Housecall Pro? One that you think maybe not enough people know about or talk about, but you've been using it now for a while. So what kind of advice would you put out there?
It's funny because I don't have a good answer for you right now, because back in 2017 when I started, you guys are just new too. So you've come a long way since 2017. But there were so many separate companies that we signed up with that you guys didn't offer. And it's hard to leave them after they've been so good. So I'll say like Nice Job. Nice Job has been great for us. Sending reviews on every invoice that we send finished, it automatically sends them a, hey, will you review us? And then and I've scaled back on how many times I bother people, because people get pissed off after, getting a 50 email that says, please review us. They're like, I'm not leaving. And then they call and they complain. So I only do 2 now. They hit you the first time, and then they hit you like 2 weeks later. But I know you guys have review software. I know you guys have payroll. I know you guys have all these other things that you didn't have back then. And we've been signed up with like QuickBooks Online for so long that I hate to switch now to go to Housecall Pro. So for people new, I think using all that great additions that you have, the VoIP, the payroll, the review software, all that stuff is great for you guys have everything all in one. I just don't use all of those just because I've been doing the same thing for so long, and I hate to change now.
Change is definitely difficult, but
Definitely.
for new businesses, there's no reason to go set up, 5 different accounts with all these different services when also they don't always talk all the same way and they don't have the same capability because not all the data is in one place either. So for sure, if you're just starting out,
Right.
what about something that you wish you would have used earlier? So maybe a feature that we have now that you wish maybe you had when you first came on board, 5 years ago.
I like the job fields that you can. I wish I would have started early. I wish that was like early on where I could put for every customer, we could go to that job field and list what type of drill they have, model number, serial number, like that
Yep.
the HVAC people do. I have so many. We've got like 4,500
Wow.
customers in our database that it'll just be a nightmare to go back through everyone. I mean, I'd have to hire a VA to just go through and then I'd have to list out all that stuff. So I don't use that as
Yeah.
best as I should. I think that would be a great thing and I just have to start one day. I just have to start because there are a lot of things that we use, we attach. So when we're done with the job, we take a picture of the grill and we take a picture of like the model and serial number because people always call and go, hey, my briquette tray is falling apart. I need a new one. So without me going back there to see what type of grill it is, I just go to the pictures and I can pull up the picture, the model and serial number, and then I can respectively get the parts that they need. So attaching pictures is great by using Housecall Pro to take the picture. So we have an iPad. By going on there and say, take picture, what happens is it gets stored in the cloud. And then I can't go back if I'm not on the iPad or on Housecall Pro to look at it. So what we do is we take pictures using the iPad and then we upload to Housecall Pro. So I can always go back through everybody's pictures on my iPads. They're all linked together and get pictures that way.
That's a really good use case. What about like expense cards? You've got guys out in the field, they're running trucks or vans actually.
I use them. Every van has it. Has one. They are labeled in somebody's name, but every van has one expense card. I think I have a $600 max, daily max or something. But they use it if they're out in the field and they need a part, or if they ran out of gloves, or they ran out of paper towels because they forgot to restock in the morning. They can go and without using their personal card because as people work, they're like, oh, I just don't have the money in my bank account to get it. And after that, I was like, all right, everyone needs an expense card. So they have their expense cards to use. I like the feature that it goes right to my phone. So when they ding the card, I get it on my phone. It says, hey, Dave just spent $32 at Home Depot. Perfect. I can track everybody and what they're spending. So that's really good. The expense card's great. I needed some money. We did some things with the business. So I used Stripe on their, and they're taking like a percentage off of all the credit card stuff. So that was very helpful.
Capital infusion. When you're investing in the business, trying to grow the business.
Right. And they take a little bit, 4% or whatever it was, they take it off of your daily thing. So I used that. That was very helpful.
Oh, that's great.
And I'd have to go through Housecall Pro. The email marketing, I think, is the best. The text messaging, everyone loves our automation when it comes to text messaging. Text message when we schedule a job. Text message when we go on our way. Text message when we're finished. We use the inbox for everything. We don't even use our cell phone for texting customers anymore. We just use the inbox for texting customers.
Yeah, and then that way it's all in one place, and you've got all the history. You can see what someone said. If someone said something this, rather than having to like share screenshots of text and all that kind of mess. It's just all in one spot. That makes a lot of sense. What about the community? When you think about the Housecall Pro community, how'd you describe it? Maybe what does it mean to be a super pro?
I think it's great. Some of the The other thing that's on Fridays is I think Chris has his Superpro, and I get on there and they start talking about stuff. I'm like, no, that's not working right, or I think you can do this better. And they're very receptive. Usually the people that they have on the show that from your company, they're like, oh, I didn't realize that happens. So very receptive. It's nice as a Superpro being able to give input on the problems that we have in the field and how they can be resolved. And you guys actually listen and accept and then usually make changes somewhere down the road.
We got like a list of pro votes. It's only a couple thousand long at this point.
Right, I know. But being Superpro is awesome. Like I said to you, I think I've said it on Facebook a couple of times. I miss back in the day when you guys took your Housecall Pro to Orlando, and you had this huge Housecall Pro event, and you had people up there speaking, and that was really nice.
Yeah.
I think COVID came, and all that went to the wayside. But having maybe more Housecall Pro events, not necessarily dealt with Conquer, but just strictly Housecall Pro events. So all the super pros or regular pros can all get together and talk.
Yeah, maybe we'll do like a super pro meetup, and then we'll have it in a location. Hopefully super pros can kind of fly in to come hang out with other super pros. We'll do something not too crazy. Those masterminds definitely COVID kind of put a stop to that, and we had those team members working now in different parts of the company, doing different things. Is there any piece of advice you'd give somebody? What's the last piece of advice? Maybe young Chris, 10 years ago, what would you have told him?
I would have said hire sooner. I would have hired somebody much sooner than I did. I was really afraid of my failure in being a good boss in hiring somebody, because I would never want to hire somebody and then my company not do well and then I'd have to fire them. That makes me feel bad. I don't feel that way anymore. I wish I would have hired somebody probably 3 years sooner, and then I could have stayed with the fire department a little longer. But I was so busy that I just couldn't stay with the fire department much longer. I had to retire. I just said my business can grow if I'm working in it.
That's right.
A little bit more. So, and that's what I did. I retired. 31 years is long enough for me.
I'd say 31 years. That's a really long tenure as a firefighter.
Hang with the young guys. My son came on. We worked together for about 6 months. It was really nice, but they would run circles around me. So, my body just isn't as strong and as agile as it was when I was in my 20s. But I wish I would have hired somebody, and I wish I would have. Got out of the field a lot sooner. Now I'm still in the field. I still do a couple of days a week. There are jobs that I feel that I need to do on my own. Sometimes dealing with gas, like doing gas work. You have to have a license for everything in Florida. Florida has become the license capital of the world. To do plumbing, you have to have a license. To do construction, you have to have a license. To put up a fence, you have to have a special license. To do gas work with natural gas or propane, you have to have a gas license. I'm not able to get a gas license. I never had the 3 years of experience that the state requires. So what we do with gas is very simple, and I won't put that on my employees to do gas work. I don't want the liability from my company. I have too much to lose. So if anything involves gas, I'll go and I'll go out in the field and do it. And there's other things that we do that I feel that requires my expertise
to go handle,
and that I don't to handle. So 2 or 3 days a week I'm in the field, but getting out of the field definitely helps grow my business, and hiring people.
So many great golden nuggets. Thank you, Chris, for sharing a lot of that wisdom. And I think a lot of people, have been or are still in that same boat and are thinking, oh man, if Chris can do it, I can do it. And everything he's saying is resonating with me, and I know I just need to do it. I really appreciate you taking the time to coming on the Superpro Podcast and being a part of our community and Housecall Pro customer. And for everyone else listening, we'll see you again next week for another special edition of the Superpro Podcast. Thank you so much, Chris.
The Superpro Podcast is brought to you by Housecall Pro, the leading platform for the home service industry. Housecall Pro streamlines your workflows and simplifies everything from scheduling and dispatching to communication and billing. Unlock the full potential of your home service business with Housecall Pro. Work smarter and more efficiently with streamlined workflows and detailed analytics. Win more business and serve your customers well, every single time. Join more than 40,000 home service pros who have already revolutionized their businesses. Work smarter with streamlined workflows, get organized with centralized information, and scale your business your way. Learn more at housecallpro.com.